Hello and welcome to week 1 of the AFL Finals 2024. Thank you for watching the video. Before we get started, please do subscribe and like the video if you are new. I usually have a secret word that you can put in the comments, and let's just try and confuse the people, so you got to wait until a little bit later to watch that. But anyway, Isaac Heaney, I'm so upset that you can't actually win Mark of the Year outside of the regular season, because I think this is better than Jamie Elliott's. What do you think? The Swans and the GWS game was probably the game of the week. Well, I think it's easily the game of the week. There wasn't many, but Sydney just kept fighting back. GWS weren't able to maintain that lead, and Isaac Heaney kicks a awesome goal from inside the centre square, and that was to tie the game. And then eventually Amadi, who did absolutely nothing the whole game, kicks a goal with only 2 minutes left to put the Swans up, and they win. They absolutely stole this from GWS. The Cats were absolutely awesome on the weekend, and Jeremy Cameron is just an absolute freak to be running away from the goals and kick on your left as you're getting pushed. For this to go through, that's just insane. Even he said he should have probably passed that to the top of the square. The Blues get one of their only very limited inside forward 50s in the first half, and Paddy Cripps puts through their first goal after 57 minutes of playtime. This was almost an hour of no score. Not just not a goal, no score at all. Carlton did try and fight back, but it was just way too little, too late. They're gone. Kai Lohmann's got to do the unselfish thing, and he's got to give that first handball off straight away to Bailey. He doesn't, he hesitates, and then eventually passes the ball over the top, and then Bailey just completely airballs it, probably because at that point he probably wasn't expecting it, and he knew he was getting chased down and just psyched himself out. Just completely missed the ball. Does anyone have any more info about what Kai Lohmann said and Nick Newman? He was clearly annoyed, and all I could see is Kai Lohmann said something. He pointed one finger up, and then Nick Newman took offence to it, pushed him in the back, and eventually Nick Newman's going to be missing a week, at least, possibly 2 next year, as later in the match he just completely elbows Lachie Neale for no reason at all. What happened between these two, do you know? He's also done it right in front of the umpire, who gives a free kick to Lachie Neale, but he shanks the kick. I'll try and get the vision to be slow enough to have a look, but it looks like Nick Foot has actually braced for contact and hit Norton. What do you reckon that? That's got to be at least 2 weeks for Nick Foot, surely. The Port defence were just in absolute shambles. Aliir can't take this mark. It goes down to ground. Dangerfield passes the ball over to Jeremy Cameron, and he bounces the ball off the ground, has enough time to line up and kick through for a goal, just with pretty much no defensive effort from Port at all. Looks like Burton's taken a few lessons from Dan Houston as he gets the ball from Rioli and then goes through and kicks a 55-metre bomb. Port needed that one big time. D'Ambrosio played the best game I've seen him play probably ever, definitely this year, as he's dove to spoil this ball. Even though they are 29 points up, it just shows you the desperation that the Hawks had, and that's just another reason why they won. It's always interesting how the different camera angles can show how a tackle or a goal, whatever, looks different from every angle. From this first angle, it actually looked like Willem Drew slammed Blitzar's down pretty hard. But from another angle, you can actually see that his head barely makes contact or no contact with the ground at all. So he will be fine. But yeah. Game's already done at this point, but Brian Myers gets the clearance and eventually gets the ball back, and his unique kicking style, he's just absolutely darted this one at the umpire's feet. I thought it was a brilliant kick because it didn't give the defender in Burgoyne enough time to get back and try and spoil the ball, just went straight through for a goal. Very nicely done. I thought this was a very nice little leap from Ollie Dempsey. Definitely worth sharing once or twice. I'm not trying to point out any individual defenders, as I thought Port Adelaide defenders were pretty bad overall, but unfortunately Lachie Jones, I know this game's dead at this point, but they just couldn't even grab the ball. Zerk Thatcher dropped so many marks. Aliir, Radicalier, just terrible all over. Jones drops this and it actually almost falcons him, and it leads to a Tyson Stengel goal. think the umpires got tricked into this one. I guess from first initial thought, I also thought that Darcy was just very careless here and bumped Sicily for no reason at all, gave away the free. But upon watching the review, Frost has actually pushed him, and Sicily clearly doesn't know about it. He gets up to try and remonstrate, but yeah, don't do that to your teammates, come on. While Hawthorn did play a very good game on the weekend, I found this was probably one of their weak points, was their second ruck. You can just see that Josh Weddle just gets completely manhandled by Darcy, who grabs the ball and kicks it out of the ruck and goes through for a goal. I'm not sure if they only play Weddle as the second ruck in the forward line, but I guess when you can score so freely like they did, it probably doesn't matter. I thought this move by Kalshadir was very clever. After Gunston isn't able to take the mark, the ball goes down to ground, and I guess the defenders are trying to get the ball over, but Kalshadir has second ideas. He's trying to keep the ball in, and as you can see, he just kicks the ball to himself, keeps it in front of him, and then kicks through for a goal. Very clever individual play. Gotta absolutely love the way the Hawks are playing at the moment. Wizards finally able to kick straight, and after he kicks this goal, Marby or Chol just completely leapfrogs him like he's a kindergarten kid or something. I thought this mark by Nick Newman late in the game was very courageous. He knows that the game's pretty much over at this point and could have got completely taken out, knocked out or injured, but he still went for the mark and took it. Very well done, very courageous. We're at the point in the video where I want you to leave the secret comment. Now, the secret comment, I want you to put who you think will win the 2024 AFL Grand Final. For me, I think it's going to end up being Sydney Geelong, and I think at the moment Geelong will take the cake. Carlton were just absolutely rushing their chances in the first half. As you can see, there's a mark just inside 450. Mackay gets the ball and tries to kick towards goal, completely shanks it like old Mackay would, and yeah, out of bounds on the full, not even a score. I thought this goal by Keith was pretty good mid-air, pretty good for a big fella. He doesn't get too much game time, but he played a pretty good game on the weekend, so I think he'll get recalled this week too. Pay attention, people who are still learning the game, but well done to Rosie. He's able to keep strong in his hips and not go down in the tackle, able to keep his feet, and ends up kicking a goal because he's able to break the tackle. Kai Lohmann has kicked a goal, and in his celebrations he's so excited that he's tackled your best player. Be careful with Lockie, please. And then Kai Lohmann again, after he takes a mark, he's going to take a set shot at goal. He's probably going to have to kick it about 45 metres out on about 45-degree angle, and just comes off the boot really badly and ends up not making the distance and definitely not the accuracy. It's a shank. It's a bit too late in the game to really matter, but I thought Norton was pretty lucky to get this bounce. As you can see, the ball looks like it's going to go through for a point, but the shape of the ball never lies and ends up going through and bouncing for a goal. At this point in the game, if you were watching, you would have realised that Carlton was sort of making a bit of a comeback. They had the momentum, but Logan Morris is here to shut it down. Takes a mark inside the goal square, and he's going to take a 10-metre shot at goal, 15-metre kick, but he overkicks it. He tries to kick it too hard, I think, and ends up hitting the post. What are you doing? This quick little step by Chol was good enough to fake the defender to completely fall down on the ground. Nice little move. How's that for selling some candy? As the ball goes inside the Hawks forward 50, Watson has actually lined himself up to take the high contact from Taylor Duray. It's definitely there, but do you think it's free because he's put himself in that situation? The umpire didn't blow the whistle, but I don't know. I think it's still a little bit dangerous by Duray, so I think it should be a free kick. Do you reckon there was enough in this to be classed a tackle by Amadi on Ward? The umpire said that this wasn't a tackle, it was a bump. I guess it's kind of in between for me, but I still like this sort of effort to be paid holding the ball. I thought this one was a little bit interesting, and it's probably not something that I've really paid attention to before, but there's been a free kick paid to Papley, and Toby Green just refuses to give the ball back and delays the time. And you can hear the umpire say that there's no delay of time free, which makes sense because there's no time to waste because the quarter's just finished. And then, of course, when there's no frees to give away, that's when you start the punch-ons, if you can even call it punch-ons. I guess just pushing each other around for no real effect. Roy Bottom has completely cleaned up Ash here, and he's definitely got him high, and somehow the umpire, he's right there, and he just hasn't paid a free kick somehow. Lockie Ash did slip a little bit, but I still think that's high. That gets paid every day of the week. Not sure why this wasn't. Are the Sydney Swans protected? I got the times a little bit mixed up. Anyway, this is the melee where everyone sort of they just jump a punch and push each other. There's nothing really in it, and as far as I'm aware, it doesn't really achieve anything besides just shows you how strong you are to push each other around. Anyway, never really understood the pushing each other around when there's no punches thrown. Not that I'm saying they should. I feel like Toby Green almost had too many chances at this point in time. He could have passed it left or right or taken a shot at goal. He's sort of in between all the three decisions and ends up kicking towards at goal and missing, which is very uncommon for him because, I'm sure you're well aware, he's usually a very good finisher in front of goal. This one got paid for unrealistic attempt, but I mean, what in the heck was Jamari Ugelhagen thinking here? He's completely missed this mark by probably at least 5 metres, possibly 10. Who does he think he is? Stretch Armstrong? Like, you're not that big, mate. Even standing on Sicily's head, you're nowhere near it. You can see in the replay, he is just miles and miles away from this mark. Like, bruh, what are you doing? Anyway, this is the last clip. Thank you so much for watching. I just found this hilarious that Radigali is the last in the pack of about 4 people trying to mark this. He clearly hasn't got first hands to this and then gets that second grab and has his hands up like he's marked it. And eventually the umpire says play on. So it's a ball up and you can just see him look at the umpire, shake his head like, are you serious? Mate, you are not even near it. Anyway, that's it for this week. Thank you so much for watching. I can't believe that we got a 12-minute video out of only 4 games. It's crazy. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. There's only 2 games on this weekend, so let's keep an eye out for that. And yeah, if you made it all the way to the end of the video, you know what comment to leave. Please do subscribe if you're new. If you made it all the way to the end, surely I deserve a subscription. If not, anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.